Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to our final race in this round of 32 in the Lali-Ho League. My name is Xenocat, and I'm joined here in the booth by Commander Leonhardt as we are going to be commentating this exciting final race in the best of three between Vitasia and moonblazewolf. How are you doing tonight, Commander?
Doing good. I'm happy to be here with you and with this great team we're working with. We've got a Scala special on Restream, and Awakened Smoke is joining us first time tracking. Ah,
Yeah, always happy to have new people joining the Restream team, helping out, and I'm sure he'll do a wonderful job tonight. But both of our runners have provided us with fun naming schemes.
Vitasia shouting out, saying, I thought I was going to have a clear day today, Mom. Sorry. Not so much. Blaze Wolf has apparently taken a job at Good Burger.
Yep, I guess so. And Scala has provided us a lovely box cake cookie recipe for our fake objectives, which, you know, I kind of want to see this
You can
happen.
dig it. Do note this is not for actual cake. This is for cookies.
Yes,
Simmons
this is cookies, not cake. They're just made from box cake mix. But enough about our.
In a moment, we'll have to see what the actual random objectives are.
Yeah.
We have bosses. Will we have characters? Those.
Neither of our runners are going to show us these random objectives as they both have their naming schemes up for us to enjoy.
It's fair.
We're-
I cannot.
Yeah. No,
the naming scheme.
The naming schemes are great. We can talk about the objectives later. But,
just in general, of you that are not quite familiar with the transition from Swiss to bracket, there's a few big differences in the change of the flag set. What do you think has had the biggest impact so far?
I would say the Cell Zero is the biggest impact. It's certainly not the only notable flag change, but that combined with the T Pro as opposed to T Wildish have really had the biggest impact on how our runners have been playing. The fact that you can't get money easily by selling things to shops. You have to, whatever money you get from battles is all you've got, and treasures aren't going to give you any of that really good stuff. I mean, you could still get some good stuff, it's just a lot rarer. So,
it's not tossed around the way it was for T
yeah.
Wildish. We do still have max tier 6 on, but that's
Yes.
much more important on Wildish than it is on Pro.
Yeah. Blaze it looks like has left that character screen and is showing us our starting character and our objectives. We have a telestart, and we have to find Fusoya and find Rydia. And we are off.
Are like, I'm here, I can be helpful. No attention to that fourth objective. In all seriousness, Tella is a wonderful start. Oh, and we're starting with the vanilla early.
Yep, that's a Vanilla Cane, Golbez giving us a whole bunch of Twin Harp and a whole bunch of other items. I saw a longsword in that in those supplies, as well as 47,000 GP, which is about average for the starting kit.
Pretty much right down the middle, 20 into 80, so 50 would be right on the bullseye.
But I'm sure both runners are very happy to have access to that second objective right away.
And we are happy in the fan booth as well. With it being 4 out of 5 objectives, occasionally Magnus doesn't get done, and we have to hope that a runner, in the midst of calming down from the race, ducks in and does music. But now, pretty sure that's going to happen along the way.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if either of our runners skips that Cave Magnus check. Not only is it an objective, but there is a chance for another key item there that could lead to more progression through the seed. but we do see some early divergence as Blaze is heading up the Watery Pass while Vitasia is headed to Eblin Castle.
Eblin Castle has seen a lot more play with the downgrade to T Pro. It's a very good area to hit some loot, but it does take a little longer having to deal with the trap chests and possibly resetting and saving or deciding when you've had enough to leave.
Yeah,
Pass, straightforward.
Both runners have found a weapon for Edge. Vitasia finds a ninja sword while moonblazewolf finds a Murasami, but Blaze also found a poison axe and a ninja hat in that Watery Pass, whereas Vitasia has so far just otherwise found a ninja shirt, and I don't think anything for Kane to use at the moment.
Nothing yet, and Rando will Rando. What are you going to do about it? This is definitely the more lucrative area. It's not rolling well.
Yep, we do see Cecil taking a nap in the Kaipo bed, and it looks like Vitasia made it through 2 full towers without finding a trap chest. I think that's time to leave.
I think so. The only issue is, as we pointed out, you didn't really get anything for your trouble. I would have probably duck out and save at least, and then maybe loot the right side. There we go, Vitasia.
Yeah, that's fair. You want to save at least the ninja sword that we found, and there's a few other things that could be potentially useful later on in the seed. But Kane is going to want something better than the Slumber Sword.
Definitely. And the soap web out of the backwater pass. Vitasia already found one of those, and you don't mind seeing that. You're going to want one for Zeromus just to make your life easier.
So I think all these trap chests ended up in the last 4 chests that Vitasia would want to check. So we're just gonna take everything else and leave. This is fine.
We're done here. We're done.
Yeah, if Vitasia had kept going there's only a 25% chance he would have found a non-trap chest in the next chest. So it's time to go.
Yeah. That's a thing. The loot in Castle Eblin had been more typical of that area. That would be a huge advantage for Vitasia, being able to loot so many chests from there without being a single trap chest. But as it is, it's still kind of
But one nice thing for him is that Kane started with a fire sword, which is one of the best weapons that he can come with early on.
Just like in Swiss, we have the Sea-Neki flag. So the characters come in with no armor and with weapons that are tier 3 or lower, which for some people, unfortunately, is a significant improvement. In being one of those people.
Yeah, a fire sword is great, and we find a Yang on Mount Hobbs from Vitasia, fighting with an antlion. Yeah, we've had a lot of vanilla characters. I think Tella just took Cecil's spot. Cecil's taking Rosa's spot. Or one of Rosa's spots.
The vanilla count when I did comms yesterday got up to 7.
Oh my goodness. Antlion, a little bit rude here, but not too bad to get through, and as Vitasia gets through that antlion fight, and we'll now be able to leave with this Yang in the party.
Yep, and making good use of those J items. You want to use them early when you don't have much power. Definitely don't want to hold on to them too long or just end up sitting around.
Yeah, the J items are very handy early on, especially when you don't have access to a lot of AoE damage, but later on the damage that you get out of the J items is kind of mediocre at best. Your party is probably going to be doing more damage than the items would, so it can be better just to toss them early, get them out of your inventory. They don't sell for anything, so you may as well just get rid of them so you can clear out that space for other things.
I didn't notice until he equipped it, but moonblazewolf apparently found a cat claw somewhere.
Oh my. I did not see where that was, but that is going to be very nice for that Yang.
Yep, as our tracker Smoke is pointing out, a Dragoon shield has been located for Vitasia. do like to have one piece of Dragoon gear somewhere. Shields is as good a spot as any. Provides fire, lightning, and ice resistance.
And nothing really of note on the back of Hobbs for moonblazewolf, just a piece of diamond equipment and another silk web.
Yeah,
But
more.
meanwhile, Vitasia is through Antlion and gets a spoon.
Another unfortunate change moving up to the bracket phase is that Edward cannot equip the spoon. Spoon is now nothing more than one more key item towards 10 and a very powerful tool.
Yep, unfortunately, there is no Spoonward coming to save the day, doing all the glass cannony things. It's just a thing you can throw.
Weapon, he said not in the face, right? And that's what Sick said?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was Arthur.
But
I'm behind getting to this.
Yeah, just a little behind on account of some of this looting. Fire One going to heal the elements a little bit here, but they have such little health that it doesn't matter.
Really doesn't. You're through this in no time at all.
And Vitasia moving on to defend Fabul, which is the next logical check in the vanilla progression of the game.
It is. From Antlion to Hobbs to Fabul. We already did Hobbs.
We skipped ahead and did Hobbs a little early, but then we went back and cleared out Antlion. So I think we're still going in kind of vanilla order. And oh, hi Valvalis. Good thing we have Kane.
You prefer Valvalis here than, say, on the moon or some other such nonsense, bottom of the sealed cave, but in the power level of this party, still happy to have Kane here to take her out of the swing.
Yep. We do know now that this Fabul check will not lead to underground access, and Vitasia taking a reset here.
Might be thinking exactly what you're thinking. This does not give us our way underground. I can go somewhere else and not deal with it, and maybe double dip Fabul. Now, if you find a hook somewhere, you might want to come back here and look for a magma. Because just because this can't be your logical way underground doesn't mean it's not allowed to have one of them.
This is very true. The magma key could be here, but if we do find a magma key from this spot, we know that there is a hook somewhere, and vice versa. But Vitasia has decided that instead of dealing with that Valvalis, he is going to head up Mount Ordeals to try to get some more spells for Tella, and maybe there will be a key item up here that'll be useful.
Yeah, you're right, Smoke. You don't see the Chocobo Forest peak that much. I will do it pretty much as Vitasia did. I'll use the Chocobo Forest combined with a White Mage to essentially be a free in. If I'm going to go through all that, I might as well.
The Chocobo Forests do have pretty good loot in them compared to some of the other places, but they're like very sparse and not very easy, not very convenient to get to. But we did find a darkness crystal behind that Valvalis, so.
Okay, so that's a quick character. Well, not quick, but a useful character check for moonblazewolf. Nothing else.
Yeah, there's a character check up there. We could see if maybe one of the bosses at the top of the moon is free and get a very cheeky key item check up there, but it could be something as powerful as a Fusoya, which would be both an objective and a huge power insert to the team, or it could be something like Edward, who probably wouldn't be helping very much.
Not without being able to wield the spoon. There are a few fights that he's useful for, and it's hard to justify carrying him around in the hopes of cheeky Odin Thunderstruck or finding Evil Wall in a spot where he can take himself.
Yeah, and Vitasia finding probably one of the ruder bosses up here on this first bottom round ordeals, paled him with only elemental weapons. So paled him is going to resist all of the damage that Vitasia is putting out.
Yeah. The bright side, if there is one, is that he only attacks physically, so Tella, if repeated applications of Blink, will be able to keep the party alive. Also, the spot doesn't hit that hard in the first place. No real fear of not getting through this, it's just going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, this isn't a hard fight, this is just a slow fight.
And Awakened Smoke is cheering for D-Money. How do you think that's not likely? We haven't seen much of that in the tournament.
I would say that's not likely because the problem with going to the Giant for the D-Machine grind is that you then have to go through the 2 bosses in the Giant. And we don't have a full party yet. So not only do I not like to do a grind without having 5 characters, because, you know, then you at least have your full party all up to speed if you want to use them. But we then have to go deal with 2 rather rude boss locations that do give a lot of experience, but they could be extremely rude and costly in terms of time and not worth it. But speaking of slow fights...
So, have an extra key item on Ordeals, courtesy of D-Mist, as long as we remember it by the time we get done with everything.
Yep, and finding this D-Mist here does confirm that the Giant of Babel will not be hard required. There could be one of our 2 characters up there, but we will not need to go through the Giant of Babel because we can skip one of our objectives and still get to Zeromus.
It just becomes, as Chaos Lord is saying in chat, gambling play. You've seen it done where you get to the point where you've checked all but 2 characters, and at that point it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
Hey, no, you just find an objective up here.
Yeah, that is an objective. I don't know if we found any good summons for her.
I don't think so. There's always the possibility of Hobbs handing over something like Asura or Sylph, but it's not going to give us anything like Leviathan or Bahamut.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, she can take a nap the whole seed and make everyone else fast.
It's true. Much as it pains me to say it, she does make a good aim.
She is very good at taking naps and making other people fast. But there is a Sylph summon.
Hey, don't need to buy the Sylph. Use it. See if that's enough to convince moonblazewolf not to have Radia be an anchor. You have Tella after all. Does a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, Tella is a very solid anchor as well, so that is one reason why we may want to actually use Rydia. And that is a free fight. Ish. We do have access to Recall. We also have access to Odin, if Rydia could have enough levels to cast it.
Yeah, gonna need to handle that. As you say, some levels just does not have enough MP to get the job done.
Yep. We could just recall until we get Fatal. That could work. It's not a good idea. But yeah, Blaze is not interested in taking on that fight right this second, but that is very good information and might draw him to do Cave Bahamut relatively early.
Yeah, whenever he does get around to the moon dive, might get into the moon dive sooner, and when he does, I strongly suspect he'll start at Cave
Yeah, but it does look like he is now going to join Vitasia on Mount Ordeals. We'll have a bit of an easier time going through the Paladin, at least, having access to that Poison Axe for Kane, which will be putting out much better damage than I think the Slumber Sword that Vitasia switched to, and having a Cat Claw, which is non-elemental for Yang.
Yeah, that'll be very nice. He Who Is Pale. We started with Tella, Kane, and a Harp. We found Yang on Hobbs. We found a Spoon and Antlion, and moonblazewolf got through Fabul, whereas Vitasia bounced off the Valvalis there. Darkness Crystal was in Fabul.
Yeah, and I believe Vitasia is going to be showing us what our key item is from Mount Ordeals very soon. The one downside of doing Mount Ordeals is you can't do that cheeky recall fatal strat against whatever's in cave value after doing Mount Ordeals, but that's also a tiny chance, and I'm pretty sure no one wants to be relying on recall strats.
I mean, yeah, losing recall strats, not too big a deal, but hey, we have a pink tail.
We also have a Sparkle. It's just Plague.
Yeah, no big deal here.
Plague is going to count. We're gonna punch and jump and not quite take out Plague.
We are going to probably get counted up to 1,000 damage before Plague finishes counting down from 10.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
1,000 damage is not a terribly huge damage check. And Vitasia is through this check. We'll be able to take the pink tail out of Mount Ordeals, get a whole bunch of extra spells on Tella, and that Cecil who's sleeping in the Sanderby bed is now a paladin. I don't know how he gets credit for going through this ordeal when he clearly was taking a nap. But I guess someone else climbed up the mountain, so now Cecil's a paladin. This works.
Apparently, it's like, you know, some sort of curse where you're banished to be in some terrible alternate form until somebody breaks the curse for you.
I guess that works.
As long as it gets broken.
Yeah. I guess Tella did learn Medio, so I guess, I don't know. Tella having access to Medio. Tella Medio's the darkness out of Cecil.
I mean, Medio does deal holy damage, but that definitely sounds like some tough love to me.
Yeah. And Tella can cast Medio on Vitasia's side, as Vitasia pulled a Soma drop off of Mount Ordeals. And going straight over to Rydia's mom. That's our underground access.
Oh, wow. Times. Even when Demist is in a place that a runner is likely to go to, still good times when Rydia's mom gets you underground.
Yep, but we officially have a wide open seed. Or will, as soon as Vitasia heads back to Fabul Defense, and Blaze gets through this Demist and goes to check Rydia's mom.
I like Vitasia peeking here, knowing that he's still looking for Rydia, that she could be there in Baronet. Wants to know about that before he forgets about it completely. Just sees a duplicate.
Might also have been checking just to see if that character was someone who could be useful, because I definitely like picking up characters early on this flag set with no slingshot experience, but Duplicate Tele, you're not going to get a character from that check anyway. No harm in leaving that check behind for a little bit and going for some freebies underground instead.
Completely agree. In Vitasia's choose, I'm going to go underground. I'm going to hit the Feymark freebie. I'm going to run Sheila 1. And after that, probably do Baronin then.
Yeah, I would say Baronin, or even just head for Cave Magnus at that point.
Also fair. Just Vernon and I have history with me forgetting it and it laughing at me because it was important. So I try not to.
That is fair. It can be very easy to accidentally fade that Baron in check.
Does tend to be late in the line. The first fight can be rude with certain bosses, but the second fight that you don't know about is what often makes Baron in a risky play. And given that there are other places on the overworld that are a little safer to go through, I understand leaving it for last, and then if you can find your way onward, it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, but it does look like Vitasia might be going to be a hero of the people, is heading towards that special hut at the back of Tamra.
Well, he's here for the loot, at least. There we go. Airline Flight Reservations Administrator.
This seed is valid.
So, if you really need a second cat claw, you can come here.
Yeah, well, Vitasia hasn't
Will be a
found the
first
first
cat
one,
claw.
so. But cat claws are expensive, and also there's Bacchus, and Bacchus might be real nice.
Yeah, this might be. It's a good thing to have.
Yeah, we like it when our fighters go burr. Oh, Vitasia might be...
So, not forgetting D-Mist is going to go straight to the village, get his magma key. Vitasia's going to pop a quick siren with just the 3 characters.
It might be looking for a quick experience in fusion, knowing that at this point Vitasia's the only character he has access to is the Dwarf Castle character. So might be thinking about taking on Dwarf Castle just to get a 4th character into the party.
That's a good point. That's often a reason for an early Siren Underground is to make that happen. I tend to see it with spellcasters because the Siren often gives them access to some important spells, maybe Blink or Berserk for a White Mage, or if you've got Palom, it can push them to Quake. But then just getting a couple of Warriors boosted, we've seen a number of times in this tournament where quick Siren in the right place has made a huge difference in clearing checks.
Yeah, getting Kane and Yang's damage up and their survivability up as well is going to be very helpful. And Vitasia did save scum out of that 1 trap chest on the walk down to the Feymarch, so we'll be able to loot the rest of this freely, which this place has some pretty decent loot, so might get something good for Kane.
Yeah, it does. It's a bit of a double whammy in terms of things boosting it. Gated flag set like to boost areas that are gated, which this is, and also areas that have trap chests, which this does.
That's a great weapon for Cecil. We have a lightsaber now. And there's a second longsword, so Edge is definitely online.
And the Thunderclaw is definitely good times. There are so many bosses that are weak to Thunder, and being able to put that damage on is good.
Yep.
Oh, for the really big payoff. What's the key item?
That's an objective.
Ooh, that clears up objective 3. It's ready to go. It's also another character check, which I remind myself about it enough times, I will stop forgetting it.
Yeah, that's another character check. And Sirens in this shop. This Feymarch is where you want to be.
Yes, without a doubt.
There's a summon for Iridia, and I guess an archer bow. It's a functional bow. But now for is our royalty? It's 2 ambiguous sprites.
Well, we've seen Element.
Yes.
We know that one's Rubicon, and the other has been answered as Water Hag.
We're gonna need to do a little bit of...
I just see in Autozer? They're in a...
No, that was... I think that was holding A. Kane has a fire sword.
Oh, okay. He just held A so fast. I'm like, did I miss an Avenger? You've got to be kidding me. No, I did not. It's just
No.
a fire sword.
It's just a fire sword, which is now replaced by an ice brand because an ice brand is better than a fire sword.
This is true. Possum Morpheus and friends. We're underway. We have a pretty wide open seed. The only reason Vitasia doesn't have darkness yet is he bounced off of Alvalis at Fabul. But it's not going to keep him away for too long, I think.
No. I would imagine this party is more than ready to handle Alvalis.
Yeah, Smoke. Sorry for this to be your first challenge as a tracker, but Possum has shown up. You have to guard the buttons.
Yeah, we're sorry about this. Please keep the buttons away from Possum. He likes to eat them. Or you can just give them to him after you've pushed them. Either way works. I've started going with the second strategy. But yes, you can do it.
Vitasia going back in again with this three-person party, putting everyone in the back row. It's a fortunate punch on Tella. He was last in line to act anyway.
Yep, not worried about that. Kane does survive through a punch, which is very good.
That's important. I think we're through now. If Waterhag preempts Kane's swing, Yang should have time to get the job done.
But Waterhag does not, and Vitasia is through this Waterhag.
Nicely done with a three-person party, making it happen.
Yeah, that's definitely not easy. And we get a tower key. So, you know, that's nice. We can do a little bit more efficient dive through Lower Baville.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave that ruby for later. That's a punchy spot, and yeah, we don't want any of that right now.
It does look like moonblazewolf has decided not to take on that water hag. Might be thinking it'll probably be easier with more party members, or just didn't want to check the blue robe and isn't going to worry about it for now.
Does take a quick check in Sylph Cave, which has even better loot than Feymarch, typically, because there are so many more trap chests. That's a Charm Rod. Yeah. That's a good probe.
Charm Rod is definitely nice, but and that's definitely a risky play though, because there are 7 trap chests in this cave.
Yeah, one of which you don't mind finding, because trap chests have the good loot. And Toad Lady and her tiny toads are not a threat. But the other 6... I mean, I saved this place till near the end on K-Trap series. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Toad Lady is fine. She doesn't do damage. She just turns you into toads and then turns you back into fighters over and over again. But everything else is kind of scary there. But the Toad Lady is very slow. Which is, you know, the one downside.
This is a little time consuming. Definitely.
But she does, on the bright side, when you defeat her, you can get some decent loot. Still probably not worth going and looking for her.
No, you don't seek her out.
I don't think we've seen a single runner
when I find her
look for Toad Lady. Because
no, that would be some spice. I can deal with saves coming through Castle Evelyn and ignoring the trap chests, but not saves coming to find Toad Lady.
But you know that Avenger you thought you saw? There it is.
Yeah.
It's behind the pink tail. There's our king weapon.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We're still early enough that that Avenger on Kane is going to completely change the outlook of a lot of fights.
Ooh. Vitasia finding coffins and hourglasses here in the Evelyn shop. That's a very nice shop. And I am...
Big 4.
Yeah. I'm sure Vitasia will find
Dolphins?
that Avenger very soon. Probably
Yeah.
before taking on another boss fight.
Yeah, this was
And-
just on the way for the way he flew. So he probably
Yep.
just decided to do this first. Yeah, the big
Yeah.
four, the boss, the sirens, the coffins, the hourglass, they're all located.
Yeah, those are the 4 tier 5 items that you're really looking for. And there's Sid, and that's an unfortunate place for King Queen Evelyn.
Yeah, you love it if you don't have a magma key. But since that's not a fight we need, you just look at it and it just feels bad.
Yeah.
Vanilla or vanilla Queen Evelyn is not a thing you want.
No. No, you do not want King Queen Evelyn on the hook route when you have a magma key. One thing we should mention is that Blaze is very close to go mode. We are a Fusia find away from go mode.
This crystal up for Rydia puts him there. Isn't that extra objective? Give him Fu somewhere, and he's there.
Yeah, so that tower key for Vitasia could very well not matter.
Yeah. It would have to be well hidden, and that tower key is going to need to have half a forge, and that's possibly asking a bit. There are still plenty of gated places for Fu to show up. You've got Tower Zot.
The tower key could be hard required. It could lead to, say, an Earth Crystal with Fu, and that Earth Crystal could lead to half a forge.
Yep, in which case, you're absolutely going to have to go through that water hag to finish the seed.
Yeah. But it looks like moonblazewolf is going to prioritize getting objectives done, heading now to Cave Magnus to give us our music check.
Yeah, because this gives you an objective. And if it unlocks the access to Fu or even has half a forge, then this is our hard required.
Yeah, this would feel pretty good, I would say, getting through this. Well, if you get
chocobos.
Oh, black chocobos. They can be hard to catch sometimes.
Chocobos doing chocobo things.
Yeah. Yeah, they can be annoying sometimes. Which is why I tend to prefer looking at the barren chocobo forest. It's a smaller chocobo forest, and if you've already been to the moon, it has a black chocobo in it.
Yeah, less room to hide, a little more crowded. No, it's got its pluses and minuses.
Yeah, it is a little bit easier to hit the wrong chocobo in that chocobo forest, for sure.
Yeah, yellow chocobo's the worst.
You don't... White chocobo's fine. It just heals your MP, and then you're still in the chocobo forest, and everything is good. Yellow chocobo...
Right. You didn't even get...
Yellow
chocobo. Get half a second. Goes in view, like... Okay, you're over there. Nah. No. Hello, it's just like...
Yeah.
Blaze is looking over the equipment, trying to get as much magnetism on hand to speed up this cutscene.
Yep. Just realized he's probably going to be relying on 2 burgers for this fight.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
But meanwhile, Vitasia is heading over to check on Sheila 1 and hopefully get through that Valvalis.
That'll give him Darkness Crystal, which if he comes up and checks it quickly, will give him Objective 5. He can decide where to go from there. By that, I mean he'll probably give moves.
I mean, you do your objectives. That's been like a whole thing in Free Enterprises. Check the freebies, do your objectives, do the things that you know you need to do. Just get them done.
Yeah, the only reason to put off an objective is if you can't do it or it'll be too slow. But that's no longer the case.
But
enough from us.
We're going to be quiet.
was a song.
Sorry, I just have to interrupt with the. We get extended music.
Yes! Okay, we're gonna.
Yeah. And now that that music is over, oh my goodness, I loved it. Free Hourglass 2? What is this game?
A free hourglass seems useful. I have a paladin.
Oh my
Actually,
goodness.
Moonblaze gonna make his way over to Kabul. Sheila One's gonna hand him Kolkol's Excalibur, and we're gonna be in business.
Yeah, even if, I mean, I might be tempted to just grab that paladin first, even with the light sword in hand, but
Fair.
I mean, I think we'll see both checks happen.
Smoke asking the real question, who do you ditch? Probably I would ditch Sid. I like my other anchor options, but honestly, I would not find fault with any choice that any runner chose to make.
Yeah, a lot of these characters, I would not fault ditching several of these characters. I would not fault ditching Rydia, especially. Sylph is nice, but for Cecil, but I could see ditching Rydia, Sid, maybe Tello. Even Young. Probably
Okay.
not Kane. I would
We've
like...
dealt with that. And he's sharing this. Well, we've dealt with Val, and what are we for? And we do have an Avenger for him. It just depends on how much we intend to go Avenger, or if we're just going to let Kane do things.
This is true. I can
Kane
see
is the
arguments.
least likely of the five. I can definitely agree with that.
There's an argument for everyone.
Exactly. I can understand why a runner would ditch any of the five characters.
But meanwhile, we do see Vitasia taking on some double gold dragons. Looks like wants to get some levels on Rydia.
Yeah, okay, yeah, bringing Rydia up, so... Times.
Yeah, this will be a nice influx of 90,000 experience, which should get Rydia up to functional levels.
And if he's throwing a weekend with Tella, he might not be putting anyone on the ground. He might be either unconcerned about anchoring or is just content to resolve it later.
Yeah, I mean, we still have not checked the Dwarf Castle character. And there are many other characters to find in this seed. There's 10 distinct characters in each seed, and we've only seen 6 of them so far.
Yeah. Just dropping 90k on Tella isn't going to be the end of the world in terms of his usefulness as an anchor, but starting to get to the point where you've got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and it looks like Blaze has decided to ditch Rydia. It doesn't need Sylph. Tella has access to... Tella's like half a white mage. He can do some white magey stuff. And that Excal Cecil is too good to pass up.
Yeah, he's not going to save your party from a massive AoE that high levels puts the party to their knees, but you know, a focused cure 4 is a full heal for 40 MP no matter who you...
That is true.
So it's largely just down to a foo hunt.
Yep.
Here,
we are...
Ant, Crystal, and Baron. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, it's package Earth Crystal Baron Key or Dwarf Castle check. Giant check, perhaps. But I think at that point, that's a little bit too much of a gamble with 5 other character checks on the table.
Yeah, a 1 in 5 is not my idea of a good giant dive.
It's a 1 in 6, I believe.
Darkness, package, Earth, Baron, Dwarf.
Earth has 2.
Oh yeah, Earth has 2. Thanks for keeping me straight here. Somebody's
but this is a boss that you are very happy you have Cecil for.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we have found the Baron guards on Vitaja's side as he's decided to take on this Cave Bahamut fight.
I'm gonna take it now rather than wait for Cecil to show up. Granted, he doesn't know. So.
He's probably thinking, I'm in the area, I'm gonna take this on, hope that it pays off somehow.
Yeah. And he did kind of the same thing with Waterhag. So he's, being consistent with the strategy of make this check because I can. Maybe it's something my opponent didn't do, and if it gives me value, then I have something that he doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, these Baron guards are going to hit very hard.
Punchy spot. It's a spot that never punches, and so it's super punchy.
Yeah, and it looks like, Vitasia is going to nope out of this.
Did Vitasia save after the Gold Dragon and come back down?
I believe so.
Well,
So
I would expect him to have.
Still has all the experience from the grind. We have found a white mage. So goodbye, Sid.
Yeah, we'll lose Sid for that. Our couple is here, and it's time to get work done. And Scala Rose also. So Scala Rosa, Chrono Trigger music. Scala
Are we sure Scala didn't like customize this seed?
Just saying, if the final boss is the Devourer.
No, we trust you, Scala.
Zoe, how will I ever complete the legacy objective?
Yeah. We want to complete all the legacy meta objectives. How will we do that without ditching Rosa?
CPU not going to be a problem for moonblazewolf here. Work right through it.
No,
Take a little.
No one else is going to get up, but no one else needs to get up.
Now, if you had to drag a character in with 150 hit points and say, wow, I hope you can get some levels out of this fight, you do a lot worse than taking on a CPU.
Indeed, as Blaze gets through with Kane Young and Rosa standing.
Right.
Oh, I really...
EP hand finishes grabbing the crystal, and we see an objective. We're going to get a long, long encore. That wonderful.
Yes. Please show us the key item before we have an encore to be silent through. I want to talk about the key item.
I think we're going to have time.
It's going to be close.
Probably just going to have time for a real quick react, but not much analysis.
Yeah.
And more
it's vanilla.
It's a long dive for a key item, but at least if the thing down there at the bottom is worthless, you can reset out.
Yeah, no need to check the boss, but time to be quiet. We have more long music. So
And
there was a lot of react to, or a lot to react to there.
yeah. See, I've checked on Luca. We've taken care of Baronin. There was a pan there, and the pan bonk is a wonderful white spear.
Yeah, that would be a reason not to fade Baronin before going underground, as could have had a slightly more efficient route through, although Ogo and Keinazo are very rude bosses, so might have been rough
Yes.
earlier in the seed.
Keinazu in the higher hit point at the spot of the two in particular, because Ogo's going to cut you automatically. There's no getting around that.
Especially since we didn't have a white mage early on.
You're not going to be able to heal up from it. You're probably eating a wave unless you're really good at the short circuits. Even if you are, it's a punchy spot.
Yeah, not fun.
Sheila 1 might have been with an Avenger, but that silver apple is just a quick reset.
Yeah, it's a gapple. That might keep Dr. Luke away. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Vitasia not interested in Cecil?
As the Sand Ruby from the Twin Heart. As the
no.
He could. Okay, he's going back in.
Might have been a not.
I think he missed.
A good character there
somehow. I think he was primed to read and did so, and then went, "Oh wait, what have I done?"
Yeah, we want Cecil. We want Cecil.
Excal is certainly not a problem. It's second only to the Crystal Sword itself.
Indeed. And Cecil does have a pretty nice experience curve where he will get levels fast.
Making sure to backward glitch, deploying a long-range weapon so that Cecil can permanently deal full damage from the back row and to the back row.
Yep. Very nice to have, especially if Vitasia is going to be doing that Dwarf Castle check for that CPU.
Yeah, we'll speed that up. And I think that is where he goes next, but after that, really want to see Vitasia follow up on this power key soon. I understand that it's not. You've got to prioritize finding food in these circumstances, but sooner or later, you've got to feel like Sour Key might be something my opponent doesn't have, and you want to chase those things.
Yeah, I would be feeling like I should probably be chasing the Tower Key before the sealed cave dive that Moonblazewolf is doing. And that is nothing. we don't need to do sealed cave. We're not going to find out which boss is there. Goodbye. But now
Moonblazewolf is all.
Yeah, is
the Tower Key in hand, so to make the keyless play.
Yeah, equipping that white spear is going to be heading up the Tower of Babel without a Tower Key. To answer question in chat, Demist was at the back attack of Mount Ordeals and gave us our underground access in the form of the Magma Key.
Yeah, good find.
So we have been in no boss hunts required for a very long time.
Which you do like as a runner. It makes a lot of things more efficient.
Yeah, not having to worry about a cheeky boss hiding somewhere with something potentially valuable. Very nice as a runner.
Yeah, that King Queen Eblin is completely off your mind. All sorts of other little things. And you do have on these flag sets that mix, that one boss, one character. It's so good to get that. So.
Yes, for sure.
Vitasia does deny the Scala Rosa.
Vitasia's completing the meta objective.
and he's done a lot more grinding than moonblazewolf has. He did the gold draft, taken on a couple of other spots, and he is pretty high level.
Yeah. Might feel confident with just using Tella for Blink and Berserk, and Rydia's with an Asura summon and a Sylph summon to get through a lot of these checks.
It'll get the job done. And to be fair, with an Excal, a White Spear, and an Avenger in your pocket, and a well-realized Cane, you can have enough damage to push through a Ziva. Nerf the first Big Bang. Maybe you probably do eat the second one, but you probably get through it and still recover well enough. If you're a good nerfer, you're calm about it. But even if you're still got a decent chance.
Meanwhile, moonblazewolf has found the Dark Elf at the top of Lower Babel. Cecil has an Excal, so sorry, Dark Elf. Also, Kane has a White Spear, but that's a little bit less relevant.
Speaking about Excals and White Spears and, good times.
We're very sorry, Dark Elf. You were not prepared. And now Rosa can take care of Berserking and Blinking.
Ooh, and top of tower gives us a Legend Sword.
That is spicy.
Life opens up a little bit when it's no longer just a character hunt, and you're also one key item away from go mode. But moonblazewolf not having that tower key, so he, I think, now has to either hit Feymarch or go to the moon, right?
Yep. Could make a cheeky giant play, gambling on a foo there, but
yeah, but now we're still at 1 and 5. That would be maybe 2 and 5 if there's a Duke Foo, but a Duke Foo means I really want to take that giant. Please let me find him somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. The odds are not in your favor for heading to that giant. But Vitasia is skipping the sealed cave check and heading right up to Tower Babel. Will be evening out that Legend Sword pretty soon, and we'll see who's in the Super Cannon and what they give, because that could be a huge reward for Vitasia.
Yeah, if Lower Tower has everything for Forge, then Vitasia's going to be in go mode when he gets out of here. So if Moon looks like he's not forgotten that free Water Hag, is going to take that out and will probably double right back to the Super Cannon room when he gets done.
Yep. Might consider taking the Rubicant at this point. We do have a couple Blink casters now. And we do have some ice weaponry. To answer the question in chat, the pan came from the Baron Inn, which Vitasia has continued to fade. But it didn't have that much value. Just a White Spear and an apple. So it's not gaining anything useful.
moonblazewolf giving a very clear sign that he's going after Adamant, gives Ice Brand to Kane. He can jump with that and deal all sorts of damage and not trigger any annoying Fire 2. That's about what I'd classify a Fire 2 Leviathan spot. More annoying than super
also
funny.
I believe has access to an Ice Claw on Yang, so both of them can do some great damage to Rubicant. But we're gonna take Water Hag first.
Definitely.
Because, this is free.
And if it turns out that Water Hag has Adamant, you're done. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know that Water Hag won't be so direct. Water Hag's just gonna give the tower key.
Is you getting the good news from Top Tower that he is also a character or a key item away from
More good news for Vitasia. That's his 10th key item.
Nice.
Blaze is going to get some bonus experience from this Water Hag, as he's already at 10 key items without this tower key from having that pan.
This might be a little Be a little. He is worried enough about that tower key that he's not even chasing Ruby.
Yeah.
Just part of him is probably thinking about exactly what did happen. Maybe Vitasia took this. Maybe Vitasia checked this a long way ago. I'm so close to go mode. It better not be there.
Yeah, and we say hi to Asura and bye to Asura in the Super Cannon room. She was there. That was a boss.
This is super close adamants here. Vitasia's done a little more grinding, but don't underestimate. But it's like having a power couple for you in your Z fight. You can go after that fight safer and at lower level with those two people.
And moonblazewolf will feel a little bit easier about Avenger glitching the X-Cal on Cecil because he has a white spear available for Kayn to swing, which Vitasia does not have.
Yeah.
Vitasia's best weapon for Kayn, other than that Avenger, I believe, is still an Ice Brand, actually. Which is not spectacular.
We're about to find out what the Super Cannon room key item is as Vitasia's leaving as moonblazewolf enters. We have potential.
That's a rat tail.
Could it be some more vanilla?
Right now.
We've had 3 scoops of vanilla so far. If this is our 4th, we have a haunted moon. Oh.
Oh.
The letdown after the build-up.
Well,
have a charm rod at home.
Vitasia actually does not have a charm rod at home. I don't believe. So that's a slight upgrade.
Vitasia still has. Both our runners still have Ruby at Leviathan. Vitasia still has Baron in. And with him giving up, passing it by now, I'm worried he's forgotten it.
I mean, it won't matter. It's just the only value we got out of that Baron in was the white spear.
True. Vitasia needs it more than moonblazewolf right
now. Indeed. It looks like Vitasia is stocking up on some Bacchus real quick. We'll see where he heads next.
He's going to check that Luca key.
This will be a little bit of a time loss. Not a huge time loss. Yeah.
Just back to time moonblazewolf spent.
Yeah.
So slight lead for moonblazewolf, just having checked a couple more things that Vitasia might delve into. It's just going to come down to who goes to the right spot first, as it so often does. Is it in Feymarch? The answer at the top of the moon? Is it at the bottom? What routes will our runners take?
There's definitely a lot of options, but yes, Pancraz, Blaze has checked Sheila too. It was a silver apple. And
very unremarkable.
Blaze is going moon.
I'm gonna fade that Ruby says, it's just one. There's a lot on moon. We're gonna go here. Plus, I heard there was a free fight in Cave Value. Let's go see about that.
Yeah, this is a freebie. Hourglasses were for sale. And Blaze got lucky and got a free hourglass out of the alt gauntlet, so.
And if you don't feel like it, running it, you got mutes, size, get the job done if you feel like saving that hourglass for something else.
Yep.
Just punch spot is though. Yeah, maybe you go ahead.
It does look like Vitasia is going to set up for the grind right now, though. Has 10 key items, is going to crack some eggs.
Yeah, get it out of the way, and you make up the time on fights. We've seen a grind at the right place make a difference, and moonblazewolf doing the same thing, just in a different location. Here's where he's going to use his hourglass.
Yep. Hourglass will make this double gold dragon fight free and get a whole bunch of experience on this party.
And Cecil with an Avenger, not quite strong enough to one-shot the eggs, but as long as you get it done on the second swing, it's...
Yep.
Before too long, he'll be taking him.
Yes. Although I'm not sure if... Well, it's Caden that has the Avenger, and I'm not sure he can do it well from the back row. I don't think we've seen a dwarf act.
From the Avenger and a follow-up. All right.
But even in the back row, Kane with the Avenger can do it in 2 shots, so that'll work.
His heals back up after his dragon fight, going in after these guards. He's going to find out now that it's the Baron guards, not the much earlier hypo guards. Oh, he still had an hourglass to spare, so we're good.
Yeah, I believe that was the Hourglass 3 on the Gold Dragons that he got from the Alt Gauntlet in Cave Magnus as a random drop.
You are correct.
It's always nice when the Alt Gauntlet just gives you a free Hourglass.
Sure.
we take that. But Vitasia is done grinding. And looks like is also going to leave the underground behind. Is headed to Baronium, which unfortunately we know won't have any value, but will be very fast.
He'll get the power up for the White Spear and that'll...
Yeah, the White Spear is not bad, considering how little time actually has to get invested into this.
Yeah. moonblazewolf has taken down the Baron guards. Another summon check coming up. Looking for an adamant, something to unlock a character.
That is a thing that unlocks a character.
Does.
I
Gives us
believe,
another
we
two
might
shots.
phase.
Adamant.
Yeah, it's 2 chances to find the adamant, chances to find more characters. And it looks like moonblazewolf is chasing this.
Oh yeah, absolutely chasing. I would be very surprised if there's just too much potential there when you're close, but Corey pointing out that he did drop a save makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you literally no value in here in the basement, then you don't have to walk out of the basement and fly back up.
I mean, yeah, everything at this point, every key item we find is going to either have a character check directly on it, or it will be the adamant. So there's no other chains that could lead moonblazewolf astray. So this is either going to lead to value directly, going to be something that is clearly a potential for value in the form of a foo, or it'll be nothing.
Vitasia is going to have to work his way through the Sheila checks. After that, could follow in moonblazewolf's footsteps to the Baron guards because he knows they're there too, specifically knows that they're Baron guards. Could also go after that ruby.
Or could make a cheeky dive deeper into the lunar subterranean.
Be super cheeky, particularly knowing about the Baron guards. That
would it is hard to fade a free fight.
Be some real feeling behind, I've got to do something different and hope my opponent's down a rabbit.
Yeah.
Ha ha! I did not remember.
Right. We
I did
have
not
Golbez
remember
here.
who this was. I don't think Blaze did either, because if he did, we'd probably have a bunch of tiny / piggies on this face.
Yeah. Golbez is going to knock some people down and be generally slow.
Yeah. Firebird Lover pointing out that moonblazewolf did unequip the Avenger, so probably a heads up on it. Just not gonna go size pick.
Yep.
And whoever stands up from this, Golbez is not gonna cut them down. I mean, probably don't even need to start it.
Yeah, Rosa, I guess Kane and Cecil can have this experience, so that's fine.
Such as it is, sure.
I mean, Rosa would have been nice to get experience on, but this is fine. Not sure Avenger glitching the Ice Brand is ideal, but either way, Cecil is just going to say no.
Sit down. Gamba Magnus, the dais has been checked. That's where Objective 5 Merctor Iridia is.
Yes. Golbez seems to not understand that if you're weak to Holy and Cecil has an Excal, he runs out of HP really fast.
That is how that works.
I mean, I'm aware of that. Golbez is not.
Yes, Wylam. Wyvern is still in the wild.
Yeah, we have not seen all of the sparkles. But Cecil has taken over Baron.
King of Baron is a Dark Knight?
Yeah. This is not so painful.
Not at all.
Wait, does this mean Dark Cecil was Golbez's boss? I'm very confused.
It does. This is an interesting government being set up here.
Yeah, government by Lunarians. Apparently.
Does that mean who's wandering in?
That would be thematic. That would be very thematic.
Oh, it's Cecil.
That also fits. That's fine. That still fits the theme.
You defeated my evil alter ego. Thank you for saving me.
He does. You can't take him though. We do not allow dupe characters in the bracket stage. So yeah, we have Cecil at home.
Who could be on the Giant? Who could be at the Tower of Zot? Who could be at the package?
Yep, those 3 checks are all available. Well, 4 checks because there's 2 in the Tower of Zot, but that's hat.
That Crystal Helm is the miss. Part of the miss.
Yeah, it's at least that's a better hat.
This comes up empty.
Than was in the sealed cave.
That save is gonna show value. That moonblazewolf dropped on the moon a while back.
Yeah. I'm just happy that the people of Baron are throwing away stuff that's better than stuff that's been locked at the bottom of a cave.
Oh, it's D-Lunars. Okay.
Okay, this is fine.
Now
This
we
could-
know that the next sparkle we see is Wyvern.
Yeah,
The other ones.
there are no other sparkles left. Now, granted, we could very well not see Wyvern. Wyvern could not be in the seed. Wyvern could be at, I believe we haven't seen either the Waterfall boss or the Mist Cave boss, and I don't think either of our runners are going to check those at this point.
Yeah, same for the King Queen Evelyn spot.
Yeah, I'm not going to see any of those spots.
Moonblazewolf content to trigger the all virus phase. There's a good amount of damage from everyone concerned. I hate it.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. The viruses here will hurt.
Viruses are going to hurt bad. Oh, wait. We're good. We're good.
We're fine. Okay, one of them is gone. We're fine. Everything is fine now.
We're just eating fire counters. Asia probably going to chase this Baron Key for the same reasons that Moonblazewolf did.
Yeah, we will see.
Value.
Yep, is healing up.
We're good. Yeah, you can heal and. Oh!
Baron is
Castle.
haunted.
And Vitasia looks like he's going to fade that Baron Key.
Our runners are dead even right now.
Galaxy Brain.
As long as Vitasia continues to fade Baron.
Runners diving the LST side by side.
Oh my goodness.
Down or bottom up?
That is the question.
Is with, and I think you bail on any key item, as you said, noted when we dove into Baron Castle. Key items are either opening new character checks or it's direct go mode from the adamant. So,
Yep. Vitasia is deciding to do bottom up.
see if Moonblaze follows along. Here's our divergence. Moonblaze to the top. And yes,
Yeah.
full located Demas. Got the magma key.
Now the issue is if Vitasia decides to save scum an item that unfortunately does not turn out to be food, then that might lead to him doing the Baron key check as well.
True. Once he's down, there, that could very well happen. Free fight at the top for Moonblazewolf in terms of a Kaipo guard. Not seeing a often, but we will get the job done.
Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. Vitasia not even going for the Crystal Sword all through, which is a kind of cheeky play, going straight for the value at the bottom of the lunar subterrane.
It's in the ribbon room.
I mean,
Manageable.
that's very manageable. Well, no, yeah. We have Rydia with Sylph and Asura.
Big
We're
wave.
fine.
It's a single big wave. You can hammer with either Asura or Sylph, whatever makes you happy. And 42,000 hit points to go through, but good amount of damage. I'm really looking forward to a Thunderclaw. And hey, face.
That's okay. We have plenty of chances for Asura to contribute.
True.
We
5K from the
We don't absolutely need her to roll a good face every time. Although the ice tubes are going to hurt.
Any ice resistance. Going with a more reliable Sylph.
Yeah, Sylph at least is guaranteed to heal. It won't heal nearly as much, but it will heal.
Not quite enough to let Kane survive another big wave, but helps top of the other people.
Yeah. But Blaze is through his
It was
fight
enough
first.
to make sure that Tella survived that ice too, though. Oof.
And just some Artemis arrows at the top of the moon. So
Yeah, definitely not what he had in mind.
yeah,
Take
I
the
think,
level. Still trying to get to Z readiness.
yeah, I think Vitasia is in the driver's seat in terms of finding something first. But if that go mode is not the adamant up here, Blaze could get lucky with a save scum. Especially if Vitasia decides to do Barret leave too early and ends up in Barret Castle. But Vitasia is through the ribbon room and nothing in there.
It's not an earth crystal. It's just an earth hammer and a lightsaber that we don't need either.
Yeah, those are that is junk.
Blarg!
We found Blarg! Hi, Blarg.
Oh. Okay, sure. Oh, he could have.
Long
If
live.
he wanted to.
Young
It would have been
detective.
bad.
Yeah,
No, Wyvern's gonna go straight into bouncing nukes off of a wall, and you're gonna be a long time trying to get through that.
Vitasia says no. But
Yang
important to
did
note,
survive the mega.
did not save after that ribbon room, so lost the 200,000 experience. I think Vitasia has Z levels even without
Ooh.
that experience, but it's a little bit rough. Rydia is a little bit low on hit points.
Now, this Mylon Zed. We'll talk about what an expert to certain bosses.
Yeah, this is a nice fight.
Yes.
We can do this. This is nicer than Blarg.
Definitely.
The white spear would be helpful here. It does do double
Super
damage.
nice.
Well,
Not more,
yeah.
because Mylon is floating, so you've got, not only do you have the holy weakness, but you also have the spear on flying.
No, it is just double damage. The holy weakness and the flying weakness are both elemental weaknesses, and you can only exploit one elemental weakness at a time. They don't stack.
It's no fun.
Now, white arrows, which hit the flying weakness and hit the undead weakness, do stack.
FF4 things.
The white spear still times 2 damage. It's not bad, but Kane had the
Here it
advantage.
is.
Oh, that is no save scumming looking for food necessary? That is go mode.
Is getting that. And gotta say Vitasia's in the lead. He has his Z
Yeah.
levels. Go mode.
Yep, just gotta leave the moon, go forward, come back through the whole moon. But Blaze doesn't have a pass either,
The thing Moonblazewolf has going for him is that his Z fight's a lot more secure.
yes, having a real white mage
Pitching-
is very nice.
Rosa pitching Cure 4s is a very different proposition from rolling that Asura and not getting that greatness.
Yeah. A pass from Wyvern could help Blaze here, but at this point, Blaze would have to get through this Leviathan fight, has to get through that Mylon Zed fight, and then... I think Blaze might need a wipe from Vitasia here, which could very well happen.
Yes, that is the thing. Blaze does need Vitasia to lose to Zeromus at least once, but it's not at all out of the question.
Yeah, this is relying on Rydia's Asura for healing, especially a Rydia that can't survive too much of a beating in this Zeromus fight. Is not ideal, but there are Zeus gauntlets and Kokals, so someone is going to be swinging even harder.
That will definitely help for someone that's relying on trying to push through and take as little punishment from Zeromus as possible.
Yeah, I think Cecil is getting those.
Lady Adamant is, as Zoe says, Mylon Z is guarding it at the Ogres.
Yep, but Vitasia is done with the 4 objectives that are required, has obtained his crystal, and is now heading back up to the moon to begin the long walk down to the Zeromus fight. And chat, it's too early for flags. We have 2 minutes of walking.
Blaze is going after that one. You expected it. That's typically how you handle bottom up.
And has saved after the 200,000 experience, which is heads up.
That's because he needed that XP. Takes the Blarg. He has 2 people standing. Is he going to go for it? Yes, he is. He's going to try and push through.
Yeah, I mean, with Cecil and Yang survive, this is fine.
Understand.
This is a free fight. It's fine. I mean, at this point, it is basically just life.
Some people eat the counter nukes and survive. Spot.
Well, yeah, once you're healed up, yeah. And this bot does not have a huge amount of HP for a moon boss, so is relatively manageable to get through. Oh, and Rosa's chipping
those
in
arty arrows.
Arty arrows, yeah. That's always a welcome sight. Doing about as much damage as Cecil.
I think you're right, Zoe. Like 20, I want to say 24k or something like that. I don't have
something in that range.
Somewhere, right?
That sounds correct. It's less than the other 2 altars down here at the bottom.
Definitely.
Definitely less than those 2.
Down goes Wyvern. Does it pass? What we really don't want is an Earth Crystal or a package.
Oh, that could be...
Crystal would be a horrible rep. No!
Oh no, that could be real
Not
bad
the
for
adamant.
Blaze.
It might be Fu, but Blaze, are you bailing? Doesn't look like he's bailing. He's saving. He's not done with the moon yet. Okay.
But meanwhile, Vitasia has just passed Blaze again, heading down this lunar subterranean, and I think it's about time we started talking about what's coming up at the bottom of the lunar core.
That is fair. This is the time when the Z flags come out, which for a reason, don't they, Xenocat?
Yeah, I think they do. I think there's something like some sort of question we might have to ask. I mean, I'm not sure. It might be nap time. Is it nap time?
Yes. Yes.
I'm being told it's not nap time. I think there's another question that we should be asking. Commander, if you want to do the honors?
Sure. Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
That's right. We have a whole bunch of Zeromus sprites. 520 something. It's a lot. I think it's 528, 529, somewhere in there. 528. Thank you, Scala, for confirming that for me. I lose track of things easily. Like, I know it's a number at a certain point, and then there's more that get added, and then I forget that it's a number, but it is 528. Many of them done by the wonderful Scala Kitty, who is doing our restreaming tonight. More other question.
Zeromus transforms, and it is...
It is but cute.
Shooting a square at us.
I would say this butt is cute.
Moonimus. So, hope here for Blaze is not just Fu, also Fu Pass. That puts him at 1 Z fight line.
Yeah, this tower is out.
He could get into Z about the same time as Vitasia gets back to Z, if that's what it is.
But yeah, Bacchusing up the whole party. This first Big Bang is nerfed because of that Silk Web, so everyone should survive on Vitasia's side.
Question is, does Vitasia have the damage to avoid a Big Bang? I don't think he does. And yeah, 8k around, I don't think that's no Big Bang.
That is not no Big Bang. That's definitely in danger territory of Big Bang into Medio, and that's kind of nice, I guess. Tella's back. Thanks.
There is
Sarah.
that. Get Tella back. We'll take it. But that's
we got Tella. Also, there's
Bang's the only one surviving an unnerfed Big Bang. First character check is a miss for moonblazewolf.
We have Porum.
Character. Edge.
Oh no.
Fu is either package or giant, and we know this isn't going to be an adamant. Now you hope for Moonblaze to get the package and Fu to be there. No longer seeking a pass.
Yeah, it's going to be real tough for Blaze to come back from this. We're going to need a few wipes on Vitasia's side. And that apple did not keep the doctor away. Sorry, Blaze.
Indeed.
You reset out of the apple, so therefore the doctor was not kept away. Okay. We are having some technical difficulties with Vitasia's stream, which is unfortunate timing, but we're doing everything we can to get it back.
We do see a full heal. We did get a non-gray face of Sura,
Yes.
so will be survived, but based on the damage I saw, I don't think he's pushing through phase 2 without eating another one, so still up in the air, folks. Riddy is not going to survive that unnerfed Big Bang.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Is the pass.
Oh, that is...
Ace has to keep that.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta...
Reset out of that.
At this point, I'd be tempted to go giant, honestly.
Or you're down here and you go to Ruby because you figure your opponent cleared the moon and you hope the value is nothing.
That's also an option.
It is.
We're hoping for a package here that has a Fu. On the bright side, if package does not have a Fu, we know then Blaze knows that he has to go to giant and will probably go straight there rather than hunt for an adamant. Especially knowing the adamant is down at the bottom of the moon.
Package puts Blaze in go.
Yeah, these are some very smart plays considering the gambles that Blaze has taken. Just unfortunately left the moon just before that adamant, and through no fault of his own, Blaze has just found himself going through all of these other checks that are not necessary.
Every play makes sense so far. Yeah, there just aren't, as Dissatisfied is pointing out in chat, there aren't that many spots that we don't know anything.
Yeah. I think the only thing we don't know about is the Crystal Sword Altar.
Yeah, so package is either here or they're on the moon.
Yeah.
We have rocks. It looks like they're going to hit Yang, and that's a reset for Vitasia.
Oh no.
Looks like he either got combo plattered, which given 7 to 8 I could see happening, or just didn't have a healer up in time when he got through. Yeah. Either way, he's got to go after this again.
Yeah, that does give Blaze, well, that wipe doesn't give Blaze necessarily the chance that he needs, but it does give him a little more time.
It's a start. It's a life staff. Package is at Crystal Sword Altar.
Oh my.
Goes up. He's got to go back up to the moon now. He's only got 2 spots left. He knows. Got to know, because we know, right? If he hasn't personally left anything behind, then he knows that package is at one spot and adamant is at the other. So no, I don't think you gamble giant here. I think you go for your key items.
That is fair. I think going through the 2 lunar bosses, even if you go through them in the wrong order, is faster than taking the 50-50 on giant.
Like, even if you know who's on the giant, these bosses might be faster.
Especially if you gamble correctly.
In the giant and the cutscene out of the giant. Yep. Long, folks.
and the element spot has 65,000 hit points that you have to slog through. That's not fast.
Yeah. That's as much hit point. That's about as much hit points as both of these combined.
Yeah, and especially with the pass in hand, knowing that whatever he gets, he'll be able. If he gets the adamant here, he can just go straight to Troya right after forging. This is definitely not a bad play. Meanwhile, Vitasia is headed back into the Zeromus fight.
And it's just a question of, with only these 2 spots left, if Moonblaze turns left to the Crystal Sword Altar, which we know has a package, or if he swings back right and says, let's just go to the bottom.
Yeah, this is a very tough situation to be in for Blaze.
No picnic for it.
He's swinging over to the left.
Blaze is still hunting a crystal, but he's got to be feeling like, I've already lost to this once. Is Blaze already here? Am I in trouble? Is probably why he didn't stop for a little more power.
Yeah, Vitasia's probably feeling the pressure right now, especially having cleared so much of that seed, only skipping the Rubicant, the Baron Castle check, and those other couple of moon spots.
The good news is that it's a relatively free Darkins. If have the ant get around the Rosa, we use them.
The bad news is we don't have an hourglass, so they're punchy.
A bit punchy. At least the hit points of the spot are divided in 3 places, so we'll start slowing down that punchy time.
Yeah, but they almost knocked down Kane there.
Yeah, but we got 1 through. And Blaze is ready for Z.
Yeah, Blaze is definitely ready for Z.
On that roll, depending on her gear. Yeah, he's general ready. Though, I don't think you saved. I don't think you saved some of the package. If you know that Adamant's package is a gamble. Adamant's a sure thing.
Is the package, even if it is foo, is it faster than getting the adamant? Because that's a long cutscene.
Good point. Speaking of long cutscenes. But if you've checked everything, which I believe Blaze has, then you have to know adamant's at the other spot.
Blaze is now fully aware that the adamant is at the other spot, and it looks like he's not exiting out. He's going to go straight for this last location.
He's going for it. Makes sense.
Because, I mean, unless this is something really, really rude, which, that Blaze feels like he can't get through quickly, taking on this last lunar altar is going to be faster than sitting through the package cutscene, even if the package cutscene is foo.
We got a nerf attempt by Vitasia on the Zeromus. A counter nuke strikes Cecil. Let's see if we have. Oh, that's a hard.
Oh no!
Cecil's not going to survive this nerf Big Bang. Everyone else will, assuming it's been nerfed.
That looked a little late.
But It's also taking a little while to come out. I don't know if that's low battle speed or if we got a phase change somewhere along the way.
I think we got a phase change. I would say that's what happened because if you do the nerf timing successfully, Cecil should not have gotten a turn before the Big Bang came out.
Yeah, so I think we got a phase tip, and oh, gray face is not what you want to see here.
Oh no! I mean, tell us back.
Up, yeah, but Cecil's just ticking down, and it's not
Tella
getting
can cast Cure 4 real fast, maybe.
A shake coming in.
Tella, please get your turn. Get the Cure 4 off.
Tella's gonna try for the nerf with a Thor Rage.
That's also fair. Rydia getting another
Not
Ursula
gray
off.
face. We get the heals. Okay.
That's good. Tella should time this nerf properly.
Our nuke says Cecil again.
Oh no. Hoping for a
as
lower
hard as
roll.
last time. He gets a low
He might.
roll.
He might live.
Yes. As Blaze picks up his adamant and will be taking off for Earth with a pass in hand. This is close if Vitasia falls to this fight.
Yep, there's the Big Bang. Coming out, it
is nerfed.
He is nerfed, but Cecil is down. Tella is not down.
A gray face. Not a gray face. We get the
no
heals.
gray face. And Tella has a life 2 queued up to get Cecil back up and running.
Yeah, you want him to come back full. But we have rocks. He's gonna see his way through this. It's gonna end up being close. He's gonna get this. There it is.
There's the flash. That's a... So we are tentatively going to say that Vitasia is the winner of this race, finishing so far with a time of 1:41.01. But we are going to be reviewing, or admin is going to be reviewing Vitasia's local recording because of that stream drop that happened. So it won't be updated on the site officially until admin has had a chance to review the local recording, but right now it does look like Vitasia is in the lead, and as long as that stream drop didn't do anything super wacky, we do have a winner.
Such a close race, such a good job. Both runners bouncing off various challenges. Vitasia having a much scrappier Z fight, had to work his way through and get some well-timed nerfs to push it.
Yep, and we will be having an interview
in here for an interview shortly.
Yes, shortly. It will happen soon, but for now we will watch as Blaze heads over to Tamra to get some Bacchus, I believe. One more Bacchus for the road.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, please do not drink Bacchus while driving. That would be bad. Don't do that.
Blaze is gonna come in and land with his pass. It just ended up occurring more. That's the difference, you know. He found the Earth. Vitasia bounced off of that and checked on that, and that definitely took up some time.
Yeah, just again, Blaze is not that far behind Vitasia for clearing essentially multiple extra moon bosses and both the Baron Castle check and the Rubicund and the Fame Arch and the Tower of Zod, which are all pretty time consuming.
Right.
But unfortunately for Blaze, they just didn't pay off.
And you understand every decision he made. Like, if we haven't, at the time he was making those checks, we had seen, the full result up here in the booth. So it's much easier to say, oh, this hurts. Even with that Baron key check, the first one, that Vitasia saved, like, that's what put Vitasia back in it, was deciding to bail on that Baron key. And you don't on turning down a character check and 2 key items. Heck of a gamble.
Indeed, but it does look like we are now joined in the booth by Vitasia. GG's.
Oh my goodness, that was a run.
It was a thing.
That was definitely a seed. First of all, how are you feeling about, tentatively moving on to the round of 16?
Well, if you saw my character names at the very start, I had zero expectation into the round of 32. And moonblazewolf is a fantastic runner in the community, has been for a very long time. So I honestly thought I was done. But I just wanted to put on as good a show as I possibly could, and coming out with the win it feels great. I also did not expect this, so just some background information for everyone. I am visiting my mother starting today for the next 3 weeks, and I didn't expect to make it this far when I planned this trip a few months ago. So I'm running on like super jank internet, which is why my stream isn't as high quality as it normally is. And I just expected to kind of be out by this point so I can enjoy the vacation, but now I got to keep practicing, and I'm like, oh crap.
That's a fun challenge to be in, where you accidentally do better than you thought you were, and now you have problems.
First world problems, really.
Yeah.
And,
like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I know, moonblazewolf has run an incredible race, an incredible tournament. GG's go out to him. And now I'm staring down Dusty Griff, and hey, weirder things have happened.
Yeah, Rando gonna rando. I mean, Dusty Griff deserves every bit of reputation he's got, but no one is invincible. I'm sure you know that.
I mean, clearly, if I can get this far, there's no reason that anyone with a little bit of practice can't get too far. So now I'm going to be devoting, the rest of Mother's Day to practicing, and the rest of my vacation to practicing this next week. And I still probably won't be practicing as much as Dusty practices on a regular basis. We'll see what kind of shenanigans I can get up to. See what if I'm gonna pull out some crazy risks and gambles, because I think from a technical perspective, Dusty is a superior runner just from a technical running everything and beating everything. So if I'm gonna win, it's gonna be on the back of routing and some really interesting gambles. So here's to you, Dusty. I hope you're out there watching, and good luck when that happens.
Yeah, so speaking of gambles, there is one play I wanted to ask you. You get back up to the moon towards the end, right? Still looking for either Adamant or Fusoya, with plenty of character check-ins available. You take those free Baron guards, you see a Baron key, and you decide not to go after it. What was the thought process there?
So here's my thought process. We had characters that still could be on Giant, at Baron, 2 at Earth Crystal, or behind the package. So I was trying to do the math, and I'm like, I'm not willing to risk my tournament life on 1 character check and 2 key items. I mean, that was important. I considered it, but I'm like, I'm going to hold off. Now, I told myself, if I get also the Earth Crystal and the package, at that point, I'm abandoning the moon and just going and doing the rest of the character checks. Didn't find those. I mean, I don't know what was at that wyvern spot because I noped out of that pretty quick
Yep.
and just moved on.
That
Hoping-
was the Earth Crystal.
That was
A
the Earth
terrible
Crystal.
a terrible
Yep.
trap of an Earth only gave a pass.
Yeah, no Fu Soya there. We don't know whether Fu was at the package or the giant, because Blaze 17 out of 17 to this seed. And last location to that adamant.
Ouch. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I knew it was one key item or one character, so I wanted to make. I guess by the end, I wanted to make everything as efficient as possible, doing multiple checks or doing anything that could give me multiple checks. And just from sheer numbers, I'm like, let's keep up here on the moon until I find adamant or I get all the other key items. Then let's abandon and go back down to Earth and start doing those checks. That was kind of my thought process as soon as I went back on the moon that second time.
Yeah, and that strategy paid off because the adamant was right there behind the relatively free Mylon Z at Ogopogo.
Yeah, and by then Rydia even had Fire 3, so she was contributing a little bit.
She was like actually useful.
Good times.
I still insist that she's the third best white mage in the game, honestly.
I mean, I she's definitely up there. Not like first or second, of course. But she can function.
It's serviceable, you know.
Are you preparing a TED talk for us? Because I think you have some interesting chat in response.
I'm not. I want to save as many frames as I can, so I'm not in chat yet. I'll check on what chat is going on, but yeah, we'll discuss chat. I've ridden Rydia hard this tournament, and she's come through for me a lot. So Rydia, I think, is one of those undervalued characters that if you work things right and you can nerf the big bangs appropriately, then she can do a lot of work for you.
She definitely can do a lot of work if in the right circumstances. And with Asura this seed and not having access really to a white mage until Dwarf Castle, this may have been just the right circumstances.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm concerned about, because I know I took like mini leveling breaks. Like I know I cracked an egg early with just Kane and Yang, just to get like up to the mid 20s, so I can start killing things a little bit more efficiently. And then I did that again up at the moon. Like I cleared out Cave Bahamut, wanted to see what was going on there, but I wanted, just to get a few more levels. I'm curious how much time that wasted, or if in your judgment that ended up saving some time in the long run, just because I could plow through everything.
It did put you a little bit behind Blaze, but you did have some slightly more efficient routing in some places. You did the water hag much earlier, and so were able to single dip tower, whereas Blaze did a keyless tower dive, had to walk that legend sword out, and then found the tower key almost immediately afterwards.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that the story of your win here is not necessarily the efficiency of clearing certain checks, but the routing decisions you made and how they paid off.
You were both, but you and Blaze were neck and neck diving into the winter subterrane.
And that was because Blaze had just clearing up Baron Castle and came back from that when you both went down the LST together.
Ah, okay. So, I mean, that's interesting. So, both going in there about the same time.
Yep.
Literally.
Blaze chose top down while you
he went to the top, the bust there. So he's clearing the ribbon room about the time that you're bouncing off Wyvern and going to Zed, and then he finds the Wyvern and starts chasing them.
Okay. I you know what? I can't blame him for that. I saw the Wyvern and I thought about taking some time.
Yeah, and it was even more tempting for him because he had
got the Wyvern
two
on the
Cecils survive, or he had two characters survive. Cecil and Yang both tanked the Mega Nuke.
Okay, yeah, and I did not.
You just had the Yang, and Yang already had Starveil queued up, so it would have been awkward to recover from that position, which is why you, I assume, noped out and chose to do something else.
Yeah, I figured, if something's behind a wyvern in that particular spot. I'm like, okay, well, if something's there, I'll come back to it. Honestly, if nothing was at the Masamune altar, I probably would have come back to it as well. But I didn't. Luckily, I didn't have to make that tough decision.
Yeah,
Like, it was just right there.
the seed made that decision for you when it handed the adamant over. But GG's again on moving on to the round of 16. Any final thoughts, or final questions from you, Commander, or final thoughts, Vitasia?
No final thoughts from me. Just GG's again to moonblazewolf. Thank you, Commander and Xenocat, for all your work doing on the comms. Scala Kitty and Awaken Smoke, who are doing the behind the scenes stuff. Just GG's to the whole community as well. I'm, being in the top 16 is really saying something, because this entire community has gotten so good at this game in the past 2 years. It's kind of stupid, honestly. No, like even back in, when we were, because I've been fighting, like, I went 1-2 in the first 3 weeks, so I've been fighting for my tournament life since like week 3, and to be this far is just part blessing, part hard work, and thank you to the entire community for making me get better, because I don't know if I would have gotten better if it weren't for the great competition.
You've got a chip and a share, and that's all it takes. Best of luck to you in the rest of the tournament.
Appreciate it.
And
Now we're joined.
Yeah, we are. That was Vitasia, and now we are
GG.
joined by moonblazewolf. GG's.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, that seed. That was a rough seed for you.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That was.
Can I share some breaking
moon.
news? Can I share some breaking news with everybody?
Yes.
Of course.
Fu is in the Giant.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So
did.
yeah. So theoretically, that seed could have probably been done about the hour mark if you just gambled after 3 objectives.
I mean,
that
yeah.
the Giant.
You had the hook and the pink tail.
You're willing to take a 1-in-6 galaxy brain gamble, yeah.
I mean, I'm not that crazy. Maybe I should have been. Vitasia's so good, and I mean, I caught the tail end of the interview, and Vitasia was just talking about how good everybody is now, and I just have to echo that sentiment. Everybody's gotten so good. Everybody plays so well. The rising tide has raised all boats in the free enterprise community, and it's just it's really, really cool to look up and down the top 16 or the round of 16 and see all the a lot of familiar faces, but also a lot of newcomers, and that's just super exciting. I'm really excited to see what happens the rest of the way.
For sure. And
is really testament to what Vitasia was saying about being such a wonderful community. All right, go ahead, Xenocat.
No, this seed ended up really coming down to just some of those routing decisions you made with the gambles, which made sense completely to go chase Baron, go chase the Earth Crystal, and just those not paying out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was... In retrospect, I should have cleared the full bottom of the LST. There wasn't going to be anything that was going to be too scary anymore after that Wyvern was out of the pool at the Masamune spot. But like, you just have in the back of your mind, like, Vitasia could be doing the Giant right now, and that could be where Fu is, or Vitasia could be checking Zot because they didn't do the Baron key checks, or it could have been at Rubicant the whole time because I put that check off for a super long time too.
There were a lot of ways that Vitasia could have gotten that it could have very easily been go mode so fast, because you had 3 of those objectives just right away. And then, I mean, the Legend Sword wasn't terribly hard to find, so it really became just, where is this adamant and where is this Fu? And unfortunately, it just ended up being a last location on that adamant for you.
Yeah, and that's just going to happen sometimes. I'm not, disappointed about it. It's just one of those things where it's so wild when you have a character objective hunt. And that's one of my favorite things about this format is you can get into a position exactly like tonight where on one side, the character that you need could be in the Giant, but on the other side, you like at the beginning there, when I'm hunting for Baron Keys, Zot, package, like you have 4 different items that you can find that could potentially be go mode. And it's such a hard position to be in as a runner. And hopefully it keeps chat super entertained too, because every check that I do, it could be Fu, it could be the Adamant. And that's just so exciting.
Yeah, it was, goodness, like all of the checks you did made sense. And considering you were less than 10 minutes behind with an extra full clear of Baron Castle and the Tower of Zot, plus a couple of extra moon fights, you cleared the seed very well. It's just, you did the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's just how it goes sometimes with randomizers. So I'm just so happy for Vitasia more than anything, and I'm just happy for the community that we get to keep having this great event, and there's going to be a lot of folks who get to participate deeper into the tournament, and I hope they keep having great matches and just lots of really exciting stuff still to come.
Yeah, you've done really well, and unfortunately your run this tournament is over, but I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you in the next one.
Same.
Yeah, I'll have to see about that. I've got a lot on my plate right now. I may end up taking the Zima Zone 4 off, but I love this game so much. We'll have to see, but life is, I hear life is going to like resume again at some point this summer, so that will be exciting. But yeah, thank you so much everybody who's been working all tournament long, all of my matches. I got to play 9 incredible matches in a really fun format, and this was my first tournament where I got to help with some of the planning and stuff, so I I'm beaming a little bit as a in that regard too, because it's just so cool to see how it turned out. And I'm just really excited for the rest of the event and the ladder and all the cool stuff that we have going on here. So thanks everybody, and I'm sure starting on Tuesday we're just going to be right back at it.
And thank you and Vitasia, I guess, for putting on a wonderful race for us to watch here in the booth.
Definitely. Hold on.
But yeah, that is going to do it for our restream for today. Thanks again to Scala for rolling the seed and doing the wonderful restreaming. Thank you to Awaken Smoke for doing his first tracking. Very exciting. You did a great job. Thank you for joining me here in the booth, Commander Leonhardt. It was a pleasure commentating this race with you.
Pleasure working with you as well. And chat, this might have wrapped up this week of the Lali-Ho League, but we've got more free enterprise for you tonight. We're gonna go raid Cubs Rule 21. He's doing a ladder race, so not only do you not spoil this race, but don't give him any hints or spoilers about his race. And if you figure out who his opponent is, absolutely do not tell him who that is.
Yes, you will get the bonk for doing any of those things. And you don't want to get the bonk.
You don't. But other than that, thanks for being here with us, for coming out and cheering on the runners. It's what makes the show happen.
Yeah. And we hope to see you next week for some more fun free enterprise action in the round of 16.